What I've got here is the long-awaited 711L ratchet, or inline ratchet driver, rather, from 711L. I just got this in from Amazon UK. It cost me 72 US dollars. Now, it's not available on Amazon US yet, so I don't even know what this is going to cost in the US. But I will probably wait to post this video. So if it is available now, it'll be in the description below. Affiliate links support the channel. And hopefully it's a little bit less than $72, considering Leatherman's Ratchet Driver was $30 when I got it. But I wanted to check this out and have this video out ready for you very early on. Very interesting packaging. Comes in a little hard case for, something you'd see in like headphones with the little pocket inside. That's neat. And then right off the bat, I'm noticing this is 3D printed, which is wild. You don't see a lot of that in manufacturers' packaging, but it actually leads to a very nice presentation. The ratchet driver just tucks in on the front point and drops in place, and there's a magnet up top to keep it in place. That's actually a really nice little feature if you're going to carry this around in the packaging. I do also see that tucked back here, you may miss, is a little key ring, sort of a flexible key ring, which is screws on together, and actually you can slip that, whoops, throw that across the room. You can slip that through. Can you slip it through? Yes, just barely, through the hole on the end of the tool. And I'm seeing bits of plastic fall out. I'm not sure what from. Maybe the 3D printing. And this will screw together so you can carry that on a key ring. That's a nice little added feature. We'll slide that out of the way. Hopefully we didn't break it when we dropped it. That would be catastrophic. What do we have here? Okay, so we do have the ratcheting mechanism. Oh, there it goes. I'm grabbing from the wrong end. So that's actually a really nice feel. I believe this is aluminum, anodized aluminum. Let's zoom down just a little bit. You can see this a little closer. Sort of an anodized aluminum chassis here that clicks, very strong detent. In the center position, there is, let's grab a bit. You can see there is a little bit of play, but not too much. Let's see, and then this is interesting. There is magnetic retention, and when I insert a bit, this slides, moving that magnet. So what happens is that bit locks in place very strongly, but to release it, you can simply grab onto this crossbar and pull it back, and now that bit is more loosely retained. I wonder if that's to fit dual-sided drivers. Let's test it on a very small hex driver here from Leatherman. And yes, I believe that is so it is more compliant with different size drivers, or should I say with single-sided and double-sided drivers. So it does have that retention even on these small drivers, and they will push in a little bit further for better retention. That's 0.05 inches, so 50 thousandths, a very small bit for retention. Here's something that more of you will be using, something like a T1015, and that's got really nice retention. You can see that does slide in and out with that movement. That's very, very interesting. But again, if I go back to just a standard 1/4 inch hex bit, there is zero back and forth play. So that's how they've worked around the different sizes that you might want to insert into this. I do have, let's see, who is these from? Galvanox. I do have the Galvanox bits here. If I can pop one out, I'm sure that these will fit. They are very similar to the Leathermans. And yes, they fit in just fine, but they do have that in and out play. That is interesting. Did not expect that, did not know about that. Others may have mentioned it by now, but new to me. Otherwise, this is just a very simple driver. Let me grab something with a Leatherman bit driver on it, and we will kind of play around with it a bit more. There's got to be a tool in here somewhere. I've got a Leatherman Skeletool, that'll work. So let's pop out the Skeletool and drop in the bit driver, and that fits very nicely, very securely. Will slide out, so it doesn't have the, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so it will slide out, but it does seem to retain pretty well. Whereas this is supposed to be a locking bit driver. I'm sure on the other bit drivers that would work just fine. And let's go ahead and destroy something. Because I want to see how strong this is. In the locked position, I've got a, let's see, a T... This is a T8, I think. Yes, this is a T8. I've got a small T8 screw on this Gerber truss frame. And I'm going to put this in an L-handled configuration. And we are going to... Oh, that's going into plastic, so it's just going to strip out. Okay, well, that was anticlimactic. But it does feel pretty strong. Ratcheting mechanism, really nice feel and sound on that ratcheting mechanism. Let's compare it briefly to the Leatherman Ratchet Driver. Feels and sounds a little bit less satisfying on the turn. I know that that's not critical. Worth noting that this does also slide out, and seems like that would work okay. Similar amounts of play, so I'm not saying that there's a big winner to either. One thing that's nice is this does have a hex shaft here, so you could grab onto that with a wrench. Really, what I need to do here is see if I can break it. Right? Like that's the thing I should do. Let me think of the best way to go about that. What I'm going to do is grab a nice big hex bit. This is a T40 from a cheap set from Harbor Freight. I'm going to put that into the bit driver. I'm going to put it in the locked position here. And then I'm going to grip onto that bit with some Knipex twin grips, and we are just going to crank on this and see what happens. That's slipping at the pliers. That is very strong. Plenty strong for a multi-tool bit driver. And now I'm going to put the precious Leatherman. This is what this channel is now, is just trying to break things. I'm going to put the Leatherman Ratchet Driver in. It is in the locked position, so you can really see how much play is in these. And we're going to crank on that and see what happens. Also plenty strong. So I'm sure people have broken these. I'm sure over time wear will take its toll. But if I'm able to do that, I do trust these as plenty strong for a multi-tool, especially when you consider you're going to be otherwise using these two-dimensional bits. Let's check how these fit into a proper bit driver, because you could use these in theory as a ratcheting extension or as a ratcheting adapter for a standard bit driver. So let me lock up the handle on this snap-on screwdriver, and they do fit. This is magnetic retention only. The Leatherman, excuse me, fits fine. They both fit fine. You're not going to get as much magnetic retention because something like this is expecting the full cross section, the full hexagonal cross section. When you go to this two-dimensional shape, you're going to inherently lose mass, so the magnet will not retain it quite as well. You can try these on something like a SOG power pint as well. And if you orient it properly, which is to say that you orient it across from left to right in this orientation, that will grip onto it absolutely fine. And that's the same with the Leatherman. We did a full video on this Leatherman. If I remember, there'll be a card up in the corner right there. But overall, very impressed with the 711L. I think the ratcheting mechanism feels much, much nicer. The trade-off is that you are going to have a much bulkier ratcheting adapter. This does not slip into the side pocket of a sheath the same way that the Leatherman will. So this is the sheath that comes with the Leatherman Surge, and you can slip that right into a pocket like that. That bulge actually helps kind of keep it in place. I don't think you're going to be able to do that with the 711L. You can certainly slide it in, but I think your retention is just going to be much lower. Overall impressions are this is really well made. This is going to be a great tool for some people. If that price comes down, I should say, because I paid, for it from Amazon UK was $72 US at the time. I wanted to get it early so that we could have this video ready for when it does get released. So I don't expect many people will be paying that price, but until we see that, we won't know for sure. I do think that they did a little bit of a clever move here with this sliding mechanism, but when it comes to those two-dimensional drivers, let me grab one again. I think the Leatherman is going to win out because it is designed to fit those natively. I'm not sure, and they do fit, so just again as comparison, the Leatherman fits a standard 1/4-inch driver just fine. You're going to have it more recessed. Let me grab the same bit. So it's going to be more recessed on the Leatherman bit driver, but I don't see that as a downside. I almost think that 711 could have done without this sliding mechanism. I'm sure it increased costs for them, and I don't think that we're getting much benefit. And like I showed before, when you use a two-dimensional bit in here, that forward and backwards play does seem kind of silly. Of course, that's not going to be an issue when you're actually pressing in and driving, but it just seems like a non-issue to me. So I do prefer that on the Leatherman. But again, we'll just put this by the mic and turn it. And the Leatherman, just a very different feel. Both of them need to be turned. You need to hold the back end and turn them, I've noticed, to change directions. And the 711L also suffers from one thing I didn't like about the Leatherman ratchet driver, is that there's no knurling here. I think it would be nice to be able to use, sometimes I will just take this and use it to spin a screw in or out because it is small and easy to manipulate. That is the standard bit extender from Leatherman. You don't get that feature on either of these, and I think that they would both benefit from it. Let me check the directions on this. If I turn this to the left, it will drive the screw to the right. And if I turn the 711L, same thing. So there is no difference in the directionality of them. I think that's all of my initial impressions. That was an expensive initial impressions video for this channel. But if you guys want to support the channel, make sure to use those affiliate links down below if you want to check these out. And I appreciate you guys watching. We will catch you as that rolls away in the next video.